Hey guys, Bean here, back again with another account review, and I'm actually doing this one off of stream today, primarily because I want to make good on a promise I made during stream this past weekend, wherein I have a lot of people on the review list I actually have to review. If those of you who don't know, I actually have a list of accounts that have won giveaways that I actually do reviews for. So some people donate, and so I do account reviews for them. The payment for that's like $25, but honestly, I want to get back to the point where I offer free reviews for everyone. Which is a giveaway in the Discord. Used to be like level 5, which is like talking for maybe 2 hours in the Discord. You should qualify for it. But I'm so backlogged on the count reviews. Also haven't streamed in basically consistent amount of time for like 2 months. And there's just a lot of people on the list ever since ever since World 7 dropped. I kind of held off on doing reviews because Toolbox hasn't updated. Now Toolbox updated, so I want to get to the point where I can actually do account reviews for everyone, and you don't have to pay me for it. So that way you can enter a giveaway and win them. So trying to catch up, do these off stream to help those people that won an account review 2 months ago finally. To give them some advice about how to improve their account, push forward into World 7, and prepare for future updates. So today, I did skip over one person, but today we're doing Ma234ton. This guy looks like fairly end gamer in World 7. Looks like a lot of progress has been made here, and so I guess we'll try to find something to talk about a little bit more in depth to help newer players kind of understand, or people who are just entering World 7 kind of understand, so they can better help themselves in their accounts. So first thing I do want to mention right off the bat is you have a lot of Zenith statues. You have a Spelunker statue at Onyx. Probably get that up to Zenith if you can, and then Coral statue. This is a very long-term grind. Trying to get this to Onyx is very significant because you'll be able to get a large amount of daily coral. Actually, if you ever see people in the Discord having like 400, 500, 600 coral a day, it's almost entirely due to this coral statue. Getting it to Onyx just massively increases the bonuses that the base statue gives you because it scales with like the Onyx lantern from one of the artifacts in the last Edge Island. And also with Zenith statues, actually, you don't need statues at Zenith to actually scale the bonus from the Zenith market. For those of you who don't know, the Zenith market it was a newer weekly update. It says it gives you higher bonuses, but I did some testing. It does actually increase statues that are still at Onyx. So by actually increasing this, you should be able to increase the effect from every statue. Now, I don't know if that applies to gold or regular statues. I would assume so, but it might also just straight up just impact Onyx statues. So you can actually upgrade this bonus to get a little bit more coral, and once you get it to Onyx, obviously will have even more impact. So it's a great way to get more coral per day to eventually max out some of the coral upgrades, like the brain upgrade, the tome epilogue, the sneaking upgrades, and then I think the gallery bonus as well, which is like the second to last map when you unlock that fish, to help you out completing that out, because all those are actually very significant, or fairly significant, in terms of account progress. So getting this to Onyx is definitely a long-term goal. At the time of this recording, I'm actually in the middle of the div ballot, so this is probably like the only time I would consider not active farming, or farming World 7 at the very least, because the div ballot is actually fairly insane for class EXP multi because of the new coral reef guy. So yeah, with that, that's the only exception really to not doing sticking your characters AFK fighting in World 7 to get more coral statues. Now, I do want to say that in terms of statue gains, there's a huge gap between people who are pay to win and free to play, specifically with statues, because there was a pack that introduced 2x statue drops, which multiplied on top of the already existing 2 to 5 times statue and gold food drops. And the pack also gives you 2 times gold food. So people who are pay to win are getting 10 times statues. People who are not pay to win are getting at most 5 times statues. So there's a big gap there. So depending if you have the pack, you could grind out the coral statue relatively easily to Onyx. Zenith is a different story. I don't think anyone's gotten this to Zenith because getting 1 million coral statues is just absurd. I think you'd probably need like close to 10,000x drop rate and like a higher level of DK orb to actually complete that, and like maybe a 1-in-1 crystal spawn chance or some crazy shit like that, right? So that being said, I think a long-term goal for you is try to get your Coral statue to Onyx, get your Spelunking statue to Zenith, start grinding out clusters a little bit more, maybe get your Dragon statue up to level 400, as ridiculous as that sounds, because of the massive bonuses we've had with World 7 to statue drops, because of the Legend talent primarily giving you 5 times instead of 2 times statue drops, and then if you have the pack 10 times because it multiplies on top of that, and then like an additional 1 or 2 statues based off the Amber upgrade in Spelunking. You can grind out a lot of Dragon Warrior statues. Also, we have more damage, so we have more multi-kill tiers, which means more Dragon Warrior statues are dropping. And on top of that, Zenith statues also increase the deposit bonus. So instead of a 10% deposit multi per statue you have at Onyx, it now gives you an additional 25% statue deposit bonus. So getting to 400 Dragon Warrior statue is not an unrealistic goal whatsoever, especially if you have most of these statues at Zenith already. 400 should be kind of a baseline for a lot of people, because as you get the statue to 400, that means you're getting more Spelunking EXP, and also means you're getting more daily coral, and also more like crit damage, like mining power and stuff like that, right? So Dragon Warrior statue is a fantastic one that you absolutely should try to get up to level 400. And actually, unironically, Seesaw statue is actually pretty good. I actually spent a few candies getting Seesaw statue, I think, to level 400 as well, and I think I'm similar level. Similar amount of construction EXP to my Call Me Bob's bubble, which is kind of insane, although I only have like a little 50,000 Call Me Bob, so if you have higher, obviously, scales outside of that. But Seesaw statues are actually kind of a good source of construction EXP, which is, you know, kind of insane. Outside of that, I think skill EXP is also pretty good, which if you do any cluster farming or any statue farming in World 3, these EXP statues drop a ton. The best place in World 3 to actually statue farm is at Detonated Rams. Don't mind me, I'm on AC right now, but Detonated Rams is the best place, hands down, to statue farm in World 3. It's been through rounds of testing. Detonated Rams just is a very dense map, a very flat map, so it's very good for DK to drop his statues, his Knightly Disciple, for it to hit almost every single mob in the map, and your orb consistently can hit up to like 3,000 depending on what level your orb is. So Rams is really, really good. Blokes is a little bit too spread out, not as dense compared to Rams. And then the other map, I think Neptune's, is really only good for one specific scenario, which is kind of beat up by Candy. And of course, I'm talking about black lenses. I mean, you don't really need that anymore. So you can just, obviously Candy's kind of in a sour state with World 7, but candying black lens is really what you want to do if you're trying to get your Primordial Shrine to level 300, or sorry, 200, not 300 yet. Yeah. Maybe consider doing a little bit of AC farming, get the AFK gains rate up or drop rate multi up for those crystals there inside the arcane crystal, the form to increase the AFK gains or drop rate, so you can get a little bit more black lenses to make your candies a bit more efficient. Or you can active ES, as painful as it is. You'll probably complete it in like, I don't know, couple weeks. Who knows? I don't know. I truthfully don't know what the drop rate multis we have now, how long it would actually take to active farm Primordial Shrine, but considering you only have 59 hours of candy, I would assume you probably need to rely on something like that. Or you can also use your Colo tickets, go farm Biggie hours in the World 2 Coliseum. You can use your mini bosses. DK Orb kind of sucks for candy farming now, since it's been kind of mega nerfed in terms of candy farming. So you could just go waste your Biggie hour spawns, your Dude spawns, without having to rely on DK Orb stacking, which is kind of nice, but it's also just heavily kind of a nerf for candy farming today. Outside of that, when you're obviously farming on DK, make sure to have your sparkle opals for your instead of your Emperor opals here, because these don't give you drop rate. Sparkle opals would. You also have a Hyper Pyre opal here. You don't need that for drop rate, obviously, so remember to swap that out if you need it. Cool. Okay, let's go over to stamps and see where you're at, kind of. Stamps, 18,000 stamp level 23 Crucker stamp is very nice. You're missing the hard hat stamp. I think this is one of it's one of those. Where do you get this? It's I think that pig in the EMC Earl map, or it could be the pig, like the hidden pig inside the Demon Blood map. I can't really show because I'm, again, AC farming right now. But there in the Demon Blood map, there is a red coral towards the bottom, like near the portal, like one of those levitating platforms that you jump up. There's a red coral you click on. I'm sure you already know what I'm talking about since you have the other stamps. But there's a secret pig hiding behind a red coral. You just like click on the coral, you'll have some interaction with the pig. and then complete the quests. It's fairly straightforward, although some of them are a little counterintuitive. Like one of them is like reach the top map, whatever, and it's talking about the one before. So you go to the map before, go back into the map, talk to the pig. Quest will complete. Then you got to like kill all the demon blubs and like whatever. Or if this is the EMC Earl one, I think it's all spelunking related. So you got to dive to specific caves and spelunking. Help you out with that. You're also facing the coral stamp again. I think this is also one of either the EMC Earl or that hidden red coral pig in the demon blood map. So go complete this quest, and definitely the good EXP stamp / explosion stamp. The explosion stamp was a bug from the good EXP stamp, because when you turned in the good EXP stamp, you got the explosion stamp. Now it's been hot fixed to where if you get the good EXP stamp, it's the good EXP stamp now. So if you didn't get explosion stamp before, I don't know if you can get it now, or if you just get good EXP stamp. But basically, this is the last quest line for that secret pig inside of the EMC Earl map, hidden behind that little seaweed strip on the right side. This gives you class EXP multi. It doesn't give you total damage. Toolbox is bugging out. This is okay. I mean, it's not really that good compared to all the other sources of class EXP multi that we have. It's like level 120, it's 1.5 times class, or 1.5% class EXP multi. It's like okay, right? It's not like game changing or anything, but it's another stamp, so it's nice. And nothing really to complain about. So get on that. You need to get to Cavern 7, defeat Mr. Jazzy, which is the Bizarro boss, the Bizarro cave boss. Takes, honestly, I'd recommend getting around 12 QQ spelunking power to realistically hit it. Take like a bunch of characters with 1k plus stamina, fill out the whole thing with like 1k plus stamina characters. And I would probably recommend a potion setup such as not this, probably something like this to save you on stamina. The blue potion just makes it so when your character runs out of stamina, has a chance to just replenish up to 30%. Or alternatively, if you want to be a little bit risky, you can do this, but I wouldn't really recommend it. It'd probably be this to have a little bit of a safer approach. This is what I recommend for doing the Bizarro Cavern to help you out with that. I'm going to go back to my previous setup, which is this, because I want to do Grand Discovery soon. Cool. Okay, moving away from stamps, talking about bubbles. Bubbles, not Bubba, the new clicker. Awful. Okay, let's talk about some of the new bubbles and see which ones are kind of worth prisming. If you're holding on to prisms, which I don't know if you are. No, you aren't. You don't have any. I get a lot of questions in stream, in Discord and Twitch, whatever. People asking what bubbles in World 7 are worth prisming. To be completely honest with you, a lot of them are. Depends on what you're aiming for. So me, I don't know what has gotten over me, but I've kind of become the AC pusher now. I fairly progressed in Arcane Cultist, so for me it was a no-brainer to kind of double Tachyon bubble. So getting the extra tachyons, this is a straight up multiplier to masterclass resources, specifically tachyons, right? So this is like an insane bubble. The 99% threshold for this is like in the tens of thousands levels. So me using my add-in clicks on this every day is completely worth it because I'm pushing AC, as you can see here. My tachyon molt is sitting at almost 65,000 times. Primarily because of this bubble at Prisma, primarily because my Prisma bonus is at 2.6. Also, because of the one of the vials, also a multiplier to tachyon gain. This one right here. There's also a spelunking upgrade that's been added in the Zenith statue update, which is the turquoise hard hat. This gives you also a multiplier to World 6 to tachyons. There's also the tome epilogue. Great tome book from Deathbringer scales tome epilogue, so upgrading that is very, very good. All of that coming together gives you a lot of tachyons. So the masterclass resources I'd recommend probably prisming, with the exception of Windwalker. Windwalker just has like really high dust gain as it is. It doesn't need a lot of help, whereas Tachyon Bubble, and probably recommend Bone Bubble as well. Bone Bubble has less of an argument, but I still think it's worth it because Great Tome Book scales Tome Epilogue. And of course, when I talk about Great Tome Book, it's one of the upgrades in the Grimoire. Gray Tome Book, this one right here. This gives you higher bonuses from Tome. This will increase the Tome Epilogue bonus. This increases your Palette Luck. This increases Deathbringer Bones, Windwalker Dust, AC Tachyons. I can't remember what else, Villager EXP or something like that. So leveling this up is actually a fairly significant increase to your masterclass resources. So I'd highly recommend probably using a few bones on this, using your Legend Talent cost reduction upgrade. Masterclass, this one right here, Daily Shopping Spree. In my opinion, I think it's worth to max this out, getting this up to 24 upgrades per day, because you're able to progress your masterclasses much quicker. Especially, you know, the further you are into each of the master classes, the more worth this is, because an 80% cost reduction for AC is like massive, because almost every single upgrade inside the Arcane Cultist Tesseract is so insanely expensive. Like, to take Astrology Cultism, for example, level 5 to level 6 takes 4Q silver tachyons. The Pinnacle of Prisma, this bubble right here, takes 2Q gold tachyons. So like, it's insanely hard to progress Arcane Cultist, and you need to rely on Daily Shopping Spree to really progress it in any meaningful capacity. So if you want to progress master classes, get pretty far in the master classes, I'd highly recommend using Daily Shopping Spree, remembering to use it every single day, and probably upgrading some of the more expensive ones that give you more account related bonuses, because you can kind of lock those in with those cost reductions to kind of also progress the menu for those master classes a little bit quicker. Okay. Cool. Let's go back to bubbles and continue talking about which ones are worth prisming. So outside of the master classes, I'd probably recommend the Spelunking power. This one right here is just like a lot of Spelunking efficiency. Sorry, Spelunking efficiency, not Spelunking power. This one gives you a ton of Spelunking efficiency. You're able to get more of those tome chapters, or chapter lore chapters, right? These are very important because obviously 2 of them are related to vials, so they take a very long time to complete. I don't think anyone realistically has them at level 13 right now, but the amount of Spelunking efficiency this gives you means that you can also finish, sorry, not really finish, but level up those vials like level 9, 10 or so to reap the benefits of that. And of course, one of them being masterclass resource multi. So all in all, it's like a really good one to Prisma to help you increase your efficiency by a ton. And also strictly because skill efficiency, sorry, all skill efficiency and all skill EXP gain have been heavily nerfed in World 7. If you see the first map, there's like 3 little signposts to talk about it. Spelunking efficiency is very hard to come by, so any source of all skill efficiency or all skill EXP gain has been heavily nerfed. So this bubble kind of makes up for that loss. Now, in a vacuum, this may not be a good bubble to actually prism in the long term, because we don't know if those signposts are going to disappear once World 7 is fully developed, if it's like a temporary nerf or it's a permanent thing. I'm going to assume it's more likely to be a permanent thing because it doesn't have any like time related, you know, information in those signposts. So it could be that all skill efficiency gets giga juiced and we don't need this bubble at Prisma anymore. But in the short term, this is a good one to Prisma to help you get those chapters, you know, to those vials up to a higher level, and also allow you to get more of the vials to get more base Spelunking efficiency, you know, through the tome chapters themselves. Or in the case of some in the second chapter, some of those give you more Spelunking power and more amber gain, which is like huge for Spelunking, right? So in the short term, this will really help accelerate your Spelunking power. So it's really good. Outside of that, double pagey, this is a bad one. Multi-page chance only works when you're active in the like cave system for Spelunking. So it doesn't work when you're AFK and claiming Spelunking time. So it's not like you can get multi-resource chance, like where it's like insanely powerful. No, this only works when you're active, by the way. So it's not worth the double. It's not worth the Prisma for that reason. Faster energy. This is potentially really good because of how slow stamina regens. This might be something worth prisming. I don't remember if there's a hard or shadow cap for this. Obviously, Toolbox is saying there's a hard cap effect of 20%, but this gets increased when you have Prisma bubbles, so you can increase it beyond that. In terms of whether this is a good Prisma or not, I'm on the fence. I think if you have a large surplus of Prisma bubbles because you played the summer event, or if you progressed AC long enough to where you have the Prisma drop rate increase, where your drop rate increases your Prisma bubble drop chance, it might be worth it. But I would probably hold off on it for some of the future bubbles that World 7 is going to have, because some of these might impact the other skills or some other, you know, masterclass resource. I don't know, man. Definitely one to hold off on, but it might be good down the line. Assuming we don't get any other sources of stamina regen, which is unlikely, this might be good Prisma bubble, but who knows. Second in line, probably Cattle to Go. So depending on if you've gotten a no stamp left behind hit on your Krukker stamp, this is an insane one. This is a multiplier to the amount of bubble levels you get per day. And if you Prisma it, you can get up to, right now where I'm at, like 90% or so. And you can go further beyond that. So right now I have this Prisma. Right now it's giving me 90% increased bubble levels per day. So that means every single 1 point of, or 1 increased daily Kruk bubbles per day is almost a 2 increase. So that's pretty insane because it doubles the effectiveness of your Cattle Kruk bubble, your Cattle Kruk link, right? Which, by the way, I do want to mention, some people are saying they're not getting Cattle Kruk to proc. What I've heard is you do need to be linked to Kruk and log in on the character. Be on the character you're linked to on the daily reset. So the kind of fix around that is use the villager magic upgrade from Cosmo to link your characters to Kruks, all of them. That way, whenever your daily reset comes, you log in on any character, you should be able to proc Cattle Kruk. Other thing I've heard is obviously having Doot, using the World 7 God to link to it, which is similar to village magic, or just like log in on the character you're linked to Kruk on, something like that. So be mindful that apparently Cattle Kruk might be bugged, might not be working properly. I don't know. But either way, I think this is a good Prisma because in the long run, this will give you like hundreds to thousands of bubble levels. Initially, these only affect, Cattle Kruk only affects Roid Rage and Swift Step and or Stable Genius. But in the Zenith market, there's an upgrade you can get. Right here, Kruk bubbles, to where it expands the amount of bubbles that Cattle Kruk can boost. Namely, it will start impacting bubbles like lotto skills, so you start getting luck per day. Larry, so you can incrementally increase the amount of bubble levels you get per day. Obviously, there's a hard cap effect to it, so it's kind of not that good. Call Me Bob, this is a linear bubble. This is insane. It's one of the best bubbles in the game because construction EXP is very needed. It's a great skill to scale skill EXP with to get a lot of levels out of it to scale like bravery sword damage and stuff like that. And it's like Call Me Ash. This is just a bubble level thing. It doesn't really do anything. I think that's also Hammer. Right, Hammer. That's the other one. That's the last one that gets increased. This is a linear bubble, so increases production speed. This is okay, I guess. It's not that good, but it's a linear bubble, so it's nice. But all in all, it just gives you a ton of bubble levels, and that's kind of how you kind of stay relevant in Tome. Bubble levels give you a ton of Tome points, so, it's pretty good. Last bubble, I'd probably recommend Prisming. Probably the number one recommendation if you only have one Prism fragment. Codfree Rules is the best one to Prisma. Why? Because this gives you Gallery Bonus multi. What is Gallery Bonus? Gallery Bonus is the thing that makes trophies and name tags more passive. So if you increase the multi of this, you're multiplying the effect of every name tag you've deposited, every trophy you have in your showcase. So this essentially is a name tag and trophy multiplier. So if you have the Dead Bones name tag for drop rate multi, Codfree Gallery Bonus multi becomes a drop rate multi. So it's multis on top of multis. So, kind of think in the back of your mind how powerful that is. If you have a 1.25 times drop rate multi, multiply that by 1.4 or whatever your Gallery Bonus multi is, it's just insane, right? So this is by far the best one, hands down, because it impacts almost every single aspect of your account. Damage, skill EXP, skill AFK gain, drop rate multi, drop rate flat, AFK gain multi. Like, it affects so much of your account. It's absolutely worth a Prisma. Like, no brainer, 100% do it. This is so good. And then anything else here I'd probably not recommend. Obviously, there's a bunch of upcoming bubbles that we don't know what they do because World 7's not complete yet, where they might be worth prisming. So stay tuned for more information on that. Cool. Okay, Vials, you have almost all of them unlocked. The Crab Mace one, this is the very last map of World 7. This is the Crab Guardians. That you get, it's the last map. It's behind the 1 billion 6-player lock portal count, whatever. So this one takes a very long time. I think I've seen Arlong has completed this Vial at level 13. Outside of that, this is a very hard one to do, but this is the base mob resource for that last mob, for that last guy. So eventually is doable. Not too crazy. I'd probably get a few more levels at a chapter chug because this is a total damage multiplier. So this will help you push World 7 a little bit faster, or at the very least, help you get more multi-kill tiers, so you are able to get more of those base resources from the World 7 mobs, which means you can finish like Scale on Ice, or you can finish Crab Mace a little bit quicker. Also, as we mentioned, this is a masterclass resource multi, so this is pretty good. Try to get like another 2-3 levels of this, despite how painful it may be, to help you out in getting more masterclass resource drops. Wriggle Water, I've gotten this to 13 primarily because I've done a V-Man speedrun. I was able to get to EMC Earls. I was able to get like a 20k print of this. So, I just let it print in my refinery over time to get Wriggle Water. You can also take a print of any of the other any of the other monster vials, to get that up to 13. But these will take a very long time because the other ones here, they're not easily able to get to get a high print of them because you're outside of a speed run essentially doing that. So may not be a very, it might take a long time to get these vials to 13 is what I'm saying. unless you stick your characters on it, of course. Sigils. So I don't know if you have gotten your tier 4 sigil yet from Spelunking. Spelunking has a 4th tier of sigils, by the way. Let's see. Bosses. Not yet. Not yet. Yeah, you're missing this guy. But yeah, the Mr. Jazzy, that's 7th cave guy in Bizarrio. He's the one that gives you the 4th tier sigils and ethereal, and every single sigil you get to ethereal will give you a Prisma Bubble multi, so it's pretty good. I do want to give a quick little disclaimer. When you actually get there, it is extremely easy to actually finish your sigils to Prisma, to ethereal in like a day. These sigil syrup skips are like insanely powerful. If you finished base summoning, if you've gotten to like 200 endless summoning, you are very likely to finish your ethereal sigils with like 100 to 200 sigil syrups, like at like bare minimum. The first thing you should do is stick your characters in P-Pod so you can get higher sigil charge rate. So it makes everything else kind of go faster. Just use the sigil syrup kind of slowly at a time. Obviously, stick all your characters into sigils to kind of make sure everything levels up. But if you have at least like 100 sigil syrup, which, completely honest, by the time you get to Mr. Jazzy, that's very achievable. You should be able to get your sigils to level 4 to ethereal like very, very quickly, and you're able to get this Prisma bonus very, very quickly. But it does predicate upon you having most of summoning done, because that's where you get most of the sigil EXP multi from. Okay, so yeah. That's crazy. You don't have kingdom flags, but you have monolith? What the fuck? That's crazy. Okay. Okay, I guess while we're here, we can talk about power. So primarily a lot of power comes from obviously the power upgrades, the tools, weapons, shadow strikes. It doesn't really give you damage, but critical impact, this will make you deal more damage to structures. This is pretty good. This is an amber multi, so obviously good to level this up here. Grand Discoveries are a great way to increase your power as well, so make sure to upgrade this. Make sure to upgrade Grand Discoveries itself so you can have a higher chance getting Grand Discoveries. And if you're doing Grand Discoveries, I would do a potion setup like this. People often misunderstand how to get Grand Discoveries, so let me quickly go over it. Grand Discoveries are the very last tier or last object type of a tunnel. So the object type, not the last item in the cave. So people often confuse it. So like they're full clearing caves from like 1 to like cave 100 with the discovery potion like popped. That's not what you want to do. What you want to do is wait till you're somewhat deep into the cave. So for Pebble Cove, I'd recommend probably like depth 80 for when you pop this potion right here. The reason being is because the way you get Grand Discoveries is from the last object type in the cave, which is this like giant rock you see here. You'll eventually see the I think it's like 200 or like 2 mil plus power required for this. That's the last one. You want to wait till you're like cave 80, because most of the rocks, here you go, Stone Spire. Most of the rocks you see are going to be all stone spires. So every time you break one of those stone spires, you'll have a chance of getting a Grand Discovery. Okay, that's when this potion becomes useful, is when you're deep in the cave, when most of the cave is filled up with that object, you pop this, that way you don't waste stamina from caves 1 through 79. You can pop it when you hit that 80, to increase your Grand Discovery chance, because again, most of the objects in that cave are going to be that last object type, which means when you break them, you have a higher chance of finding Grand Discoveries because you're breaking more of them at a time. And then the Shadow Strikes just make it so whenever you hit, you have a chance to hit multiple times, which means you clear the cave a little bit faster without wasting too much stamina. And the reason these two stamina potions are useful is because this massively increased the stamina cost. For Warhammer, it increases from 7 to 21. I know it's 3 times, not 2 times, just a visual bug here, but it does actually reduce it by 21 every time you do. So this helps you refund your stamina to make you go a little bit farther. And depending how much power you have, I'd probably recommend waiting in Pebble Cove until you get to like cave 100, because now the vast majority, if not almost every single rock, will be that stone spire. So you'll be able to do that. And same logic applies for Sedimeadow, Rustbelt 03, and Blush Pit. Depending on how much power you have, I probably wouldn't do the potion strat on Blush Pit, but definitely up to Rustbelt. Probably as you get further, obviously you'll need more power because this potion takes away power from you. So I'd probably do Sedimeadow like at 80 for sure, and then Rustbelt probably closer to like 70, but be mindful, since there's more objects, it's going to take a longer depth to actually hit the last object type, so it's going to be a little bit harder to find the Grand Discoveries there. But using this strat, I was able to get 5 Grand Discoveries in the first cave, 4 in the second, 3 in the third, 3 in the fourth, and then none anywhere else yet. because there's a lot of power requirement there. Shout out to Smoke for kind of bringing that strat to my attention. I was able to get a lot of grand discoveries and it really boosted my power. Outside of that, to get power as well, remember that your power also scales depending on how many discoveries you've made, which you've almost gotten a lot of the discoveries. You also increase it by delving further into the depths, delving further into the caves of Spelunking. So if you haven't done Pebble Cove a little bit or Sediment Meadow, I'd probably do a deep dive. I'd probably do a potion setup like probably something like this, maybe. Probably something like that, where you just primarily focus on Shadow Strikes. You can honestly just do all 5 of that. Or you can, I guess, use this potion, depending how much stamina you have, probably do something like that, right? So, yeah, I mean, you're just focused on trying to push as far as you can. Remember to stop at every 5 cave to stock up on potions, because every 5 cave you get means you can get an extra potion, which is pretty nice. So yeah, delving, pretty good. Obviously, getting higher halls will give you also more power. And then outside of that, biggest source of power gains going to be from meals. There's a meal that gives you spelunking power. It's pretty good. So remember to put a ribbon on that. Get higher endless summoning. Do your shiny pet farming if you don't have bonuses from all meals maxed out yet. And the gem shop, of course, as we mentioned, gives you a ton of power because the auto. This one right here just doubles your spelunking power every time you get. Bling Bag is also a good one. I'd probably recommend trying to get this because this gives you more amber gains, and more amber gain you get, the more halls you get. So also more power increase technically from that. Okay, cool. I think this review is kind of stretching on for 30 minutes. So let's try to wrap things up and talk kind of lastly about legend talents, what I'd recommend here. So you got double ain't enough. I just want to look and see if you've gotten most of the important ones. I'd say yeah. I mean, most of these are fairly good. I mean, depending if you have legend talents or not, I'd probably recommend Cog Lover. This makes it so you can get jeweled cogs every single day, which give you a pretty good increase to construction overall. I'm sure I'm claiming this incorrectly, and you should probably need to wait for the thing to actually pop up. But these actually give you fairly decent increases. Some of them, if you're lucky, will give you like row increases. The max level for cogs typically is like 65% for build rate or player construct EXP. These allow you to kind of bypass it and get a lot more of that. I think I have a cog here. It's like 86% player construct EXP. So you can actually get some pretty good cogs of that. So this is more of a long-term thing, but definitely not something you need to do right now. But it's definitely a good idea to probably get that legend talent to help you in the long run. For the same logic before, the Kruk bubble, and this is a good one to do only if you have a lot of superfluous legend talents. So if you are able to get Kruk bubble, and this is a good one to get. Blue ribbon certification, more ribbons every single day allows you to get more, faster 20 tier ribbons across your meals. It's kind of a very long-term goal, but this will eventually make it a little bit easier to get higher tier ribbons across your meals, at least the important ones, right? The build rate here, has become a little bit more important since a lot of the construction buildings take a very long time to complete. Having them in trim slots will make them complete a lot faster, so you're able to get more class EXP, amber gain, spelunking power, daily reef coil. Like, these are all seemingly rather nice bonuses, especially the Pantheon Shrine giving you a ton of class EXP gain. So it's absolutely worth to try to focus on construction speed. This is a good one to increase. Sigil speed, this is straight dog shit. Don't upgrade this. Absolutely terrible. Yet another printer multi. This is okay situationally, depending if you want to get more atom gain, which the more late game you are, you absolutely do. Especially with blessing bonuses from gods being increased so dramatically. We need like trillions to quadrillions of atoms to complete our blessing bonuses. So printer multi, always welcome. Blessing increases better luck when you're using your blessings. This is a good upgrade. Highly recommend it because blessings are really hard to come by. And to upgrade your slots, like I have a tier 6 slot here, probably mostly because of the luck from this upgrade here. The other ones here, higher bonuses from all your jar collectibles. This is more of a niche one. Like if you have a lot of legend talents, you're able to max this out, go for it. But I mean, it's not the hugest upgrade compared to anything else. Compared to the other ones we mentioned, I'd probably leave this one for last. And then ballot bonus, this is situationally good. Recently, we had a kill per kill ballot, and this week, as I'm talking on November 24, we have a pretty good ballot as well, div points. So this is a pretty significant one, depending on what the bonus are. But I definitely agree with the multi-meritocracy. This is pretty good. Cool. Okay, well, I'm going to stop there, MA. Hope you learned something from the account. Let me know what you guys think from a more World 7 account, what you guys think of the advice, and kind of let me know where you're at in World 7. Love to hear from you. Have a great one, guys. Bye-bye.